Hello and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast for people who want to watch all this prestige television, but who's got time for all this stuff?
I know I don't.
I don't either. I'm Xhafer,
And I am Ben.
and we are at our penultimate episode.
That's right, we cannot possibly roll the finale.
Yes, our minimum dice roll takes us to the finale, so we're at Season 3, Episode 14, Curse of the Red Rain. We're watching Into the Badlands.
Is that what happened with Breaking Bad? We ended up watching 3 episodes before the finale? Or was
yes.
it 2?
I think it was 3.
Yeah, because there would have been whatever... Yeah, okay, so this is another tradition. That's fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it tradition when it's dice rolls, because it won't work out this way every time. But it did twice, so
Yeah.
That's fun. So we have... I don't know about you. I think I told you this off pod, but I made it like 28 seconds into this episode before I had to pause and be like, damn, we missed stuff.
Yes, we did.
And it wasn't even like we skipped a whole ton of episodes. We only skipped 6 or 7 episodes, right?
Well, but
Like,
this is
without
a
looking at
short
the last
show.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is, we skipped the equivalent of season 1. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
lots of stuff has happened.
Last time on, Azra has taken over everything.
Well, so Xhafer, this
Yes,
is the question. We know that the Pilgrim has conquered everything.
Yeah.
Made everybody put up Azra
stuff. Yeah.
Is the Pilgrim coming from Azra? Does he think the Badlands are Azra? Does he think he's establishing Azra?
I think that the Pilgrim came from Azra and was kicked out of Azra. And he's trying to appeal to Azra to be like, hey, I conquered all of this in your name, guys.
Yeah,
Look at how great it is.
I'm thinking this is Azra isn't there anymore, and he is a guy who came. Hey, Azra's not working. Follow me. I will take you into our new promised land. Hey, here we go. And now I'm setting up new Azra. But
that makes sense too.
Stuff is all messed up. The Pilgrim's witch doctor Cressida is threatening Lydia and Silvermoon, saying, "Hey, give me that grain. I need more grain." It's like,
yep.
They make opium. You're doing it's a bad thing to ask them for.
Yeah, well, and then, if they're at the widow's place, then they're by the oil refineries.
Yeah.
So they're not even... Although there are opium fields out front, though.
Yes.
Which was not how that was set up in season 1, but whatever.
I think the most interesting thing
There's been time to plant some.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long it's passed, but they're demanding shipments of grain, and Lydia's like, give us another week. And it's like, that's not how grain works.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a logistics issue if all you need is a week.
Yeah. At which point, send some guys, help us move it.
This war just ended, and you clearly won. So if you want the grain, here's where it is.
Yes. Help.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. This is where we find out...
Nyx has left the Pilgrim, we find out too.
Nyx has swapped sides, and so the Pilgrim has won in a way where he can't, Cressida can't just kill Nyx right now.
Mm-hmm.
She calls her a traitor and all that, but there's still enough of a weird thing going on that she can't just be like, okay, and we kill you now. And then we see Nyx wants to kill Cressida, and the widow shows up out of nowhere, pulls out a knife, and it's just like, nah, we're gonna witch nip you.
Yep. I had a whole thing about all this stuff that happened, where the widow had died and Lydia had taken over.
And then the widow shows up
And
out
then
of
the widow shows
nowhere.
up out of nowhere immediately, and I'm just like, ugh. If I had just waited another 30 seconds. We come back from Theme and Sunny, Badgie, and Kanan,
Yes.
who's new, and we learn is Sunny's sister, which I thought was immediately obvious.
Yes.
Are at some sort of facility out of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Did you not recognize this place?
Post-apocalypse thing.
This is the monastery. This is the Waterfall Kung Fu Palace.
Well, I recognized the monastery on the outside, but they're in like a modern. The interior is very Horizon Zero Dawn.
Why do you two even work together if you can't agree on anything?
It's a symbolic gesture.
Oh yeah. Xhafer, they're talking about how the master was stealing people's powers and turning it off.
Yeah.
Was the master evil?
I think.
Or was she turning off the power of people who wouldn't learn and wouldn't be able to control it?
That's definitely there's lip service to that effect, where the people that are there are untrained, and because all these people that they had awoken after killing the master, we find out, are now part of the Pilgrim's army.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, they need to be trained. They don't know how to use their gift. So I'm guessing it's people that just refused the training, and this is the alternative.
You've got an army of MKs.
Yeah. Well, they've got some stuff to help with that.
Yeah.
We get a bit about the master keeping the novices, and MK must have told the Pilgrim, because we know that the Pilgrim came and raised them all from their slumber at great personal cost to the Pilgrim. So something with his power is impacted by awakening people, presumably.
Well,
which would line up with some stuff that happens later.
The problem is, we hear MK awakened people and the Pilgrim raised Dark Ones. This episode got real deep into some nomenclature that I was just like, man, I don't know. I'm a little lost. I felt like I had skipped 6 episodes, but like up until now, they had never like really dropped out of left field fantasy nomenclature like this.
Yeah. Minerva and Lydia are babysitting Henry. Figured he would have an au pair.
This is the au pair, Ashley. What's up? What's that smell? You smell like something.
Cupcake?
Yeah.
Au pair. Au pair. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Forever unclean.
They discuss plans for the Pilgrim, including a quick allusion to the source of his power, being those of the Dark Gift. Awakening more of them had weakened him. We also learn Lydia and Moon are an item.
Oh, yeah.
And Minerva wants Lydia to rule the Badlands when they win the war.
Xhafer?
Yeah, Ben?
Not to get into spoiler territory.
I mean, we can't. Unless you know something I don't.
Well, from within this episode.
Okay. That doesn't count.
I know, but just as soon as the widow started saying this, I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Oh,
she's dead. Yeah, one of them is dead 100%. Yeah.
They're talking about their future and making plans for succession. I'm just like, oh no.
I'm 2 days away from retirement. My daughter's graduating from college.
Little Susie's growing up.
And as soon as we nail Mendoza, my old lady and I are going to sail around the world.
The thing that only happens when someone's about to die? Yeah.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of good news about their future so that you can kill them off so that you feel sadder about it. 100%. Yeah. That's prestige television without fail.
Yeah, so the widow has decided, hey, it's time to fight back. We gotta prove that we can kill the Pilgrims, Dark Ones, and then everyone will rise up. And also, I'm a wartime consigliere. We need a peacetime consigliere. So
Yeah.
after we're done, I can't be running things.
Yeah. After this, we go over to the Pilgrim, who sets a course for a series finale-style battle while coughing up blood, but hey, he's got some dino bones.
Yes, he's also, we attack at dawn, which,
Mhm.
cool, always sounds cool, but, like,
The worst time to attack.
I mean, it's one of those things where I know I got really into World War I history, and it was always, we'll attack at dawn when everybody's tired. And then everybody was just like, okay, so they're going to attack at dawn. That's when they always attack. And it became like a weird, like, steeplechase of, okay, we'll attack it, 15 minutes
5 a.m.
before dawn.
Yeah, 4
and
a.m.
It ends with, like, attacks at 3 a.m. with a bunch of guys running through the dark into machine guns because a bunch of generals are like, aha, I figured out our ruse. And it's just, and 7,000, Frenchmen died.
Yeah.
It was weird seeing MK being the voice of caution.
Yes. He's apparently had character growth.
Yes.
TM.
He has had character growth and hair growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's now got a top knotty thing going on.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be... If we made it through this whole series without MK sporting a top knot, I would have been surprised.
Oh, for sure. We cut back to...
Club-fed prison cell.
Yes. And Xhafer?
Yeah?
Let me posit a hypothetical for you.
I wonder if it's the same one I wrote down. Continue.
Well, there's two massive ones I had about this, but the first one. You kidnap a witch doctor-y kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe a single thing they say?
No.
No! No, you do not.
No.
So here, Cressida tells the widow that she is pregnant, which I'm sure is a surprise for her.
Yeah.
And so she's like, hey, if you fight, your baby's gonna die, even if you live. And earlier this season, we saw that they were gonna try and run blood tests on Henry.
Mm-hmm.
She should be able to, as the Baron, be able to find out if she's pregnant.
For sure.
I'm
might
not
be
just
super early.
Yeah.
And it might not be readily available. But, like, by the end of this episode, she should know for certain.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, I assume she does find out for certain off camera.
It's entirely possible. But she just gets, like, really, really, like, struck by this revelation. And it's just like, I'm not going to believe anything you say to me.
For sure.
Even if it's true, I'm going to independently verify you're a witch doctor who's, the advisor to the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now, this is obviously Gaius' kid.
I believe so.
We'd seen them be flirty in the previous episode. No reason to believe that stopped, even though we don't see Gaius for a bit in this episode. But Ben, I would like to, if we may, get weird with it. What is your farthest oddball prediction for who's the father of this child?
Let's get weird.
I mean, that's easy, Xhafer.
Yeah.
Who's the smoothest guy in all of the Badlands?
Oh, that's gotta be Badgie.
Who's the guy you can't tie down?
That's gotta be Badgie.
Who's the guy who have a night of romance and then run off on a motorcycle? That's not technically his.
That's definitely Badgie.
You know it.
I had made the same guess.
Just one night, drunk on some butterfly brand champagne.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're the widow. It means you're not married, right? There's not a
yeah, right.
Mr. the Widow?
Mr. Widow. Mr. the Widow's out of the picture, right? That's kind of implied.
It's because he's a teddy bear in the streets.
Yeah, and a warrior in the sheets. I think we tried that both ways.
After this, Lydia and Moon just flirt shamelessly. Gaius and Tilda show up to help. And she sends Tilda on a mission with Nyx.
Yes, and Tilda does not appreciate this.
It's like, ugh, that never bodes well. No.
No, but it's like Tilda is just like, you're shackling me with this other person. It's like, I'm having you go spy on a convoy of super blood ninja assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take some backup.
Maybe take a super blood ninja assassin.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna go,
We've got one.
Like, even if it's just another person. No, I've got eyes in the front of my face, where it's hard to see, behind me, where there might be somebody trying to super blood ninja assassin me.
So I do have a thing here, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So we know in the lore of the show, the dark gift
Yes.
is passed on in generations, right? We learn in this episode, towards the end, that Sunny had the gift and it was suppressed.
Yes.
We learn that Minerva had the gift and it was suppressed. Sunny's son Henry has the gift. What's happening with Tilda there? Is Tilda a suppressed gift user?
I don't know.
Might it show up soon, say in a season finale where she heroically sacrifices herself?
Or has she just been so good at kung fu that she's just never been cut and just never found out?
Anyone else, and I wouldn't believe it. But her? I don't know if we've seen her get cut before.
Actually, at the beginning of this episode, she shows up looking kind of rough with guys.
She does, yeah. She
like,
does.
definitely bruised up.
She has been bleeding in the last 24 hours. Maybe she was blood ninjing in that time, though. We don't know.
Yeah.
Badgie does not trust Kanan. We get the confirm that it's Sunny's sister here.
Yes.
This is because last time on, she showed up at the last minute and saved the day at a time when it was just too convenient.
Oh, yeah.
At a level, like, Sunny is dismissive of it at a level of someone who has forgotten what fear is. Badgie, however, has not forgotten fear.
Oh,
mostly
no.
because he hangs out with Sunny.
Yes. We do get a little bit this episode where Badgie is just like, you know what? I hang around with you because it's interesting. I'm not your servant. I'm not your, sidekick. I don't have to put up with all this shit. I can just leave when you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
Badgie is, complaining, hey, I think this is a trap. They also drop the name Magnus. Magnus seems to have been a tertiary bad guy.
A player at some point.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still a going concern or not. I'm going to say he is. And he's going to show up at the worst possible time for everybody involved.
That checks out. Chrysidia does a little blood ritual here.
Is this the other bit of incredulousness you had at this imprisonment, Xhafer?
No, my incredulousness at this imprisonment is I wonder if this cell is in every single episode because it's one of the few sets we have, or if we've just hit cell jackpot. Because they lock someone in this. They've locked someone in this thing in every episode we've watched.
Pretty much. But I'm watching this and I'm like, why does she have her black magic kit? Why does she have access? She has a lot of accoutrement. And it's just like, why did you leave her magic accoutrement?
Why does she have all of you up, and here's your witchcraft kit you brought with you, just in case you need it for religious
reasons. If you need
reasons.
to cast a spell or do something nasty, there's no guard watching her.
Yeah.
She is allowed free reign in there.
Yeah, so she puts some Slayer on the background and turns Sanctuary into a John Moxley wrestling match.
Yes, it just starts raining blood.
And the rivers and waters of Egypt ran red and were as blood.
Well, the widow is trying to have a conversation with Gaius. Now, Xhafer?
Yes, Ben.
I got real worried as soon as it started raining blood.
That all the market stalls were going to lose their A rating from the health inspector?
It's the Badlands, man. There's no health inspector. There might be a guy who calls himself the health inspector. He's not actually doing any health inspecting.
That was a tertiary character we missed.
Yeah. I am the health inspector. I kill you, and then I put a B rating on the wall. But Gaius is wearing, like, white on white, and it's raining blood, and I'm just like, do they have enough of this outfit to see it hit him? They didn't. We later see him, and he is still pristine.
Yeah.
But they give Cressida enough time to cast a full spell. It rains blood, which is just like, why? Like, I understand it's probably demoralizing.
Yeah.
But other
it's the
than
curse
that,
of the Red Rain, Ben.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt...
Maybe that was something in a previous episode that we missed. In fact, last time on, the curse of the Red Rain is a well-known superstition.
Fine. Who came up with this spell? If you can do magic, there is probably something you could do to improve your position, other tthan just, haha, you're red and sticky now, and also pretty mad at me. If you can't make yourself invisible or teleport or something, you could, like, make everybody sleepy.
Yeah, that'd be useful.
Do something.
Do chamomile tea rain. Make everyone fall asleep.
Or just
Benadryl
hot
rain.
Hot rain. Everybody's like, ooh, I have to run inside. Now, Xhafer, did it seem to you after the rain, it seems it cuts to next morning?
There's a little bit before that, where Cressidia gets thrown in the brig.
But when Lydia comes in, like, there is a huge storm front running in, and then it is now, it seems like, I don't know if it was meant to be, storm has now cleared, but it seems to be next morning.
The storm rolled in very quickly. It rained blood for like a couple of minutes, and then it peaced. It's not very strong blood magic.
Okay, because, I don't know, something about the establishing shot, to me, made it feel like it was the next morning. I was just like, did nobody bother to check on the witch doctor after it rained blood? Sure, I can imagine Lydia was the first person to put 2 and 2 together. She is that kind of person.
Yes.
But I was also like, Lydia's smarter than this. It shouldn't have, like, taken her a night to sleep on it. Like, man, that was really weird, Silvermoon, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Wait a minute. We have a witch in the prison. Oh, no.
Yep. Yeah. Lydia does go confront Cressida and throws her zealotry back at her, and they move her from Club Fed to the brig.
Joke's on you, man! I love the brig! I'm going to my favorite place!
Before she goes to the brig, Cressida makes Lydia an offer. Hey.
Well, yeah, that's throwing the zealotry back at her.
But she offers also to make Lydia the ruler of the Badlands. So everyone wants to put Lydia in charge. Everybody thinks that she's the best person for the job.
Yeah, all 2 people who get to vote.
I mean, Silvermoon probably would vote yes.
Well, he's biased.
So 3. I mean, she definitely has the sneaky peeping from the bushes vote, because we know she's the best at that.
It's true. But Tilda's learned. As Tilda and Nyx watch MK and his sleeper named Eli from them bushes.
Hiding in the bushes, not illegal. Hey, I got as much right to be there as a squirrel or a cat.
Man, they found a guy to make MK seem like the calm, rational one. Like, Eli out-whinies MK. And it's just like, man, MK's really grown up. Or this guy is really just the worst.
Yep. We learned that MK is the one who killed the master. But
he lies about how. Yeah.
That's because last time on, we don't get a lot of this killing of the master. But I'm going to say this was an accident. MK did not mean to kill the master. And MK is with the pilgrim rather than our heroes, because he couldn't explain this or own up to his mistake or the personal failing that led to him killing the master. And so he is hiding with the pilgrim initially. And then he joins the ranks and does the stuff. But what brings him there?
But we do see a brief flashback of stabbing her in the back.
Yeah.
And that was... Flashbacks make this job hard sometimes. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
man.
On the road, Badgie, Sunny, and Kanan get to some water, which is where they need to be, air quotes. Kanan wants them to make, like, sticks and sail away. Sunny asks for her to unlock his gift. I guess fucking everyone is a blood Jedi.
Yeah.
She says that if she turns it on, only the Pilgrim can turn it off, and that it will kill both of them.
Yeah.
If you want the Pilgrim dead, he's willing to sacrifice himself, as he said 1 billion times.
But this conversation was really like, I will do anything to protect you, my brother. And he's like, I've got to go save my son, your nephew. And she's like, I don't give a shit about that kid. I've never met him. I must save you, my brother. I'm all about family. And it's like,
yeah.
Why do you not want to save your nephew?
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Kanan has a giant handle on a Bowie knife. She, like, pulls a knife on him, and it's like, did you see the handle on this thing?
I did not.
It's like a handle that's 2.5 times the size of the knife to make it, like, it takes a Bowie knife and makes it, like, the size of a sword, but it's all handle.
Interesting.
It's a weird choice.
So it's kind of like a sword-sized partisan?
Kinda, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure if you practiced with it and didn't grip it too high most of the time, you could probably block with a chunk of that grip. If, it's not like we know the material or anything, but it probably works.
I mean, pointy on stick, tale as old as time.
It's true. Sunny runs to catch up with Badgie, who is just like, you're a terrible judge of character, stop trusting the wrong people.
Yes.
Has the conversation that we had alluded to earlier.
After that, we see the MK battle truck playset.
Oh, Badgie has a great line here.
Oh, okay.
He says he'll tell Henry that his dad was a good, brave man who died because he wouldn't listen.
Yes. He's like, hey, yeah, sometime years from now when you're long dead and I'm raising your son because you're a dummy, I'll tell him you were a dummy.
A good, brave dummy, but
Yes.
a dummy.
Xhafer?
They leave his sister. Like, they just walk away from her, and she's just, like, hanging out on the beach.
Yeah, in the deep background.
Yeah. Weird.
But,
someone who was saying the most important thing is saving her brother's life a minute ago, you're just gonna let him go now?
Well, she seems to believe, like, hey, we just run away from the Pilgrim. Sunny's position seems to be, if we don't stop the Pilgrim now, no one ever will be able to, and he will conquer the world. Then now we cut to the MK battle truck playset.
Yes.
Xhafer?
Yes, Ben.
How angry did this make you? The guys riding inside the truck.
Like, it's not great.
Well, did you notice? I'm sure you noticed the swords.
Yes.
Stored in a central pillar.
Yes.
Horizontally without scabbards. While you rumble around in the back of a truck.
Now, this actually makes sense to me, Ben.
Because you like seeing guys get stabbed in the face because you hit a pothole?
No, obviously, I think they've got their shields and stuff, right? I think they use their shields to make sure that didn't happen. You know when you're close to the knives. I think what this is for is this is like a pull line when you're jumping out of a plane. Only instead of making sure your parachute is armed, it is activating your blood ninja powers. So that, like, everyone as they run out cuts themselves on one of the blades and is just ready to fucking fuck shit up. It's dumb as hell. Don't get me wrong.
We see them disembark and no one cuts themselves.
Yes.
But
it's not the time. They're not running into an immediate fight, but that is the assumption. When I saw those, I was just like, oh, well, that's there for this.
I just thought it was meant to look cool, but nobody thought about, hey, we're rumbling around in the back of a truck, which if you've ever sat in the back of a truck, without seats and without seat belts.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seat belt when you're driving, and pretty soon we're gonna be a communist country.
It is
suspension ain't great.
Yeah.
So they see the gates to the sanctuary, and there's no
Mhm.
one there.
Yep.
Sutalo.
They roll out. They got a bunch of shields.
They've got ladders, not
boards to cross the
boards
trenches.
to cross the trench.
Yeah.
They put the trench or the board bearers at the front, which is not what you do.
Yeah, not if you're anticipating any kind of enemy fire. But something tells me that these people are not thinking with tactics, they're thinking with blood magic.
Fair. Hey, when all you have is blood magic, every problem looks like a guy you stabbed 17 times.
Yes. So they start pumping something into the trench. It's obviously gasoline. The pilgrim calls for their surrender. The widow removes their ability to escape, or more importantly, back up a couple of feet. And then this is we see the kind of artillery I was expecting.
Well, but this is what they fired. Previous. This is that same thing.
No, this is not what they fired.
Yes,
they had a more traditional Hishwa last time. This is a semi-automatic.
But I do want to point out, like, the pilgrim calls out, and the widow just appears on the top of the roof of the guardhouse, because you do not out-dramatic the widow in her own sanctuary. She's like, no, I am Queen Bee here. You cannot be more dramatic than me.
Yes.
You might be able to beat me in a fight. You will not be able to out-brood me.
Yeah. Everyone who can't get behind a shield gets arrowed.
And some who could.
And a handful who could. The pilgrim dramatically drops his shield and runs up the wall to fight Minerva, while MK and a few of the remaining soldiers look on. Moon puts a giant gasoline bomb under the gate with a minute timer and gets a Batman zipline set up for Minerva to get out of there.
I feel like you're just here for the zipline.
What?
Yeah, they shoot 2 crossbows with ziplines as she jumps away, and then she, like, leans, slides away as the pilgrim looks down and is like, boom!
Yep. The bomb goes off. The pilgrim lives along with maybe 20 soldiers. MK is still alive. The pilgrim calls for vengeance. As our leaders drive away, Moon and Gaius are going to stay to hold the line and lead the fight as Lydia goes to kill the Blood Witch, and Minerva leads the evacuation of the sanctuary.
Now, Xhafer, when we see the pilgrim wake up, or we see that he survived, he wakes up in the dirt, in the ditch.
In media ditch.
Yeah. Why didn't they just haha, we blew you all up, run over, stab, 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 run over, MK, stab, 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 stab. Why did they retreat?
Because I imagine the expectation is that these are all blood ninjas, and so anyone that they don't thoroughly kill off the bat is going to be in blood ninja zombie mode.
Yeah. It just felt like this was your best chance. They were all just blown up.
Why don't you have another volley of arrows after this? And then another volley of arrows. And then another volley of arrows.
Yeah, all their eardrums are burst. They are concussed. This is as good a chance as you're ever going to get.
For sure. Lydia goes to kill Cressida and just lets her cast a spell instead of killing her with 5 arrows from 30 feet away, which is what I would have done if I had to go kill a Blood Witch. I'm bringing a bow and being all like, knock, knock. Oh, how's your cell? Arrow.
Yeah.
I'm not getting close to you. I'm definitely not letting you talk.
Yeah.
Even if you don't got arrows, grab a spear. We've seen them around. stab her from outside the cell. Don't open that shit. Don't get in there.
Grab 6 dudes. Be like, okay. Surround it. Stab with the spears until she stops moving. And then stab her a couple more times.
Just double check on the stabbing. Like, are we done? Let's get a couple more in just in case.
Yeah. So she comes in all dramatic. I'm going to kill you. And Cressida starts chanting. And she lets her chant for a good 10 seconds. And I'm just like,
right.
As soon as you start chanting, I start stabbing.
The conversation is done. I hear tongues. It's stab time.
The problem is, like, I don't know. I just, like, I can't get in the headspace of somebody who's just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, no, it rained blood yesterday. Or was that today? It rained blood 5 hours ago.
Right.
I'm stabbing you now.
In recent history, you've made it rain blood. I'm not fucking around.
Yes.
A bunch of Dark Gift soldiers walk into a trap. These are the untrained cadets, and Gaius and Moon fight like a dozen of these dudes. And Gaius kills like 4 of them off the bat.
But we find out, you can't kung fu a car. You can't kung fu a purse. Why would you kung fu a movie? They just hit these guys with a car, and it's hilarious.
Did you catch that Moon's sword gets broken in this fight?
Yes, I did.
They fall back, and some fox troops and petticoat assassins get gored.
Yes.
They really like this slow-mo cut 'em up 20-time things.
They do.
Like it has any practical or meaningful impact at all.
No, that person's already been dead for the last 7 cuts. It was really cool the first time we saw it with the Widow. It has been diminishing returns for me.
For sure. Moon sees Cressida and knows what that means. He runs to Lydia, who is bleeding out in the brig. She tells Moon to leave and live a life of peace. They kiss as Orla Brady kicks it to credits.
Yeah. Now, Xhafer?
Yes, Ben.
You have a significant other.
I do.
If you knew your significant other was off to kill a specific person, and then you saw that person leave where they had been locked up, are you first running to where your significant other is, or are you chasing down the person who you're like, well, there is only one way you are outside right now?
I admittedly would probably go see if there was a chance to save the significant other, rather than immediately assume that they are dead without recourse and go for revenge. Especially someone like Moon, who's done a lot of hunting down and killing, as we've had told to us numerous times. He's probably not concerned with finding her and killing her. He can handle that at a later date. But if there's a chance to save Lydia, he's going to take it right now.
I can understand that, and I can respect that. She's 7 feet away. You are Silver Moon.
Throw something. Just throw something.
Just like
what you should have done in the first place.
Just
once again,
boot
arrows.
Throw metal arm with rebar claws.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and state that this episode and this show is the greatest case made for why every D&D character ever produced needs a melee and ranged weapon on them at all times.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's the episode, Ben. All right, our next episode is Season 3, Episode 16, 7 Strike is 1. I've got it pulled up right now, Ben.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you seen the thumbnail for this episode yet?
God damn it.
Did you just pull it up?
No.
Oh, it's a very dead Tilda.
Oh no! There goes my prediction that she's gonna end up ruling.
Yeah, and my 3-point prediction last episode was that she dies in the finale.
Xhafer's cheating, everyone. Xhafer is cheating.
Ben, please. you know me well enough to know that if I was cheating, I wouldn't be calling attention to it like this.
You did with your Badgie prediction?
Oh, that's because that was funny and a one-pointer. I didn't care. The one-pointers are supposed to be gimmies. All right, 7 Strike is one. I've got it pulled up, so I'll read it before we make our predictions, just because I've got the benefit of already having it open. Sonny, the Widow, and Badgie lead the charge against the Pilgrim as he attempts to gain ultimate control of the Badlands. MK seeks revenge on the Widow. Okay. Well, it's time for some predictions.
Lincoln, what are you doing up there?
Guessing. I guess no one's coming.
I have seen into the future. You ruined the prophecy.
Okay. So we got our predictions to make now. Last time I did 3 character death predictions, as did you.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit I'm doing 2 this time.
Okay.
Mostly because a lot of the characters are dead, and we know it. Maybe if we had another episode, I probably would have thrown in someone else here, but I feel like not everyone is going to die at this point. There's going to be a couple characters left. I think we're going to have a little bit of a happier ending than Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But my daytime is Moon dies.
Okay. My daytime is Silver Moon kills Cressida.
Oh, yeah. I think that's actually going to happen before the finale. That's going to happen next episode.
It's possible.
My evening prediction, MK face turn.
Ooh. My evening prediction, based on the revelation you just gave to me, but I'm going, like, if I was just gonna go face value, I would have said, hey, daytime prediction, Tilda dies.
Fair
I'm
enough.
going a little deeper with it.
Okay.
The Widow gets her gift back and uses it to heal a dying Tilda at the cost of her own life.
Oh, okay.
We know we can use the gift to heal people, and we know it takes a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Widow decides to save Tilda.
All right. And my primetime prediction, Sonny dies.
All right. Mine is Kanan shows up out of nowhere to save Sonny and ends up raising Henry after Sonny dies.
Okay. Well, that's that. And we got one more rep here.
Yeah, don't have to roll no dice.
No dice rolling. I mean, if you want me to, I can. Just for the ASMR here.
I don't have ASMR. I've never understood it.
Well, I mean, our listeners might. Who knows? This one's for you guys. I rolled 3, so close to minimum anyways.
Yeah.
But not quite there. All right, well, we'll be back with 7 Strike as One next week. But until then, we have to say a couple of things. Like, thank you. Thank you, Ripe, for your just bomb-ass music in general. Just fucking killing it. We love it. Love Goon Squad. Thank you so much for letting us use it as our theme music. We appreciate the hell out of it. Go listen to Ripe on whatever audio streaming services you happen to frequent.
And thank you to Annette Lucina for your photograph of a TV that you have allowed to use under Creative Commons that has allowed us to use it for our podcast art.
Yep, thank you much.
And we will see you next time on Last Time On.
All the cool stuff gonna show you how.